Hey everybody! So today we're going to talk about the synthesis of materials and ideas. This is a very particular concept that you're going to need to implement during your sustained investigation. It can be implemented with any artwork, but in particular, we definitely want you to focus on this particular concept as you work on a sustained investigation, because this is one way to really enhance and create deeper meanings in your artworks. So, synthesis between materials and ideas. Any type of synthesis is a smooth joining of multiple ideas or concepts to form a more cohesive or a more specific whole idea or concept. In the case of art, synthesis of materials and ideas refers to the process by which the materials you choose and how you manipulate those materials adds meaning to the artwork as a whole. You're not just using whatever material to show your artwork. You are choosing specific materials and you are choosing specific ways to use them in order to make your idea more specific or more meaningful. So let's look at an example. This is an actual student example from our school year that just recently ended. This is an artwork about a current event. It's the Russian and Ukraine war. The student could have simply painted a canvas. He could have had some like Russian soldiers like that he plucked out of a photojournalism thing and painted that. However, he painted on a stop sign. He also painted using techniques that are common for street art. This kid normally paints somewhat more realistically, doesn't use a lot of spray paint and street art stuff in his artworks, but he chose these two specific things in order to help enhance his meaning. How? First, a stop sign. It's a legal signal to stop a forward motion. Stop your car. Don't move forward. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. He uses this as a signal to the viewer that he does not approve of this war. He's not just painting a picture of soldiers and hoping it comes across. He's literally painting on a stop sign to say, stop this madness. Second, one of the fallouts of war is destruction of towns and cities. Presumably, stop signs are among that rubble, suggesting this artwork could be made of literal rubble. And again, he didn't paint it traditionally. Third and last, he used street art techniques, again, referencing rubble or city destruction or just urbanism in general, which has all been destroyed in this Russian-Ukraine war. He has this very street art look to this. That is several layers of meaning added on just by how he created this. Here's another example. This particular student uses her artworks to reflect on rural upbringings, specifically her own. This artwork in particular is about a transition from childhood to adulthood using this rural lens. The wood that she used here is actually reclaimed fence pieces from one of her family properties from whenever she was younger. And the cows themselves in this picture are cows that come from her neighborhood. She took pictures of these cows that she would pass by on her way to school and on her way home. Specifically, she chose a number of them to represent specific family members. And in the bottom of her picture, she has all these very bright colors that she actually had a younger family member pick out. She didn't pick those colors herself. She didn't go, oh, what represents childhood? She went to a younger family member and said, hey, what colors should I have down here? And she was told pinks and purples. So again, how does this add meaning to the work? First, the wood is reclaimed from family property, connecting it to the student's personal history and childhood. This isn't just wood she grabbed from the store. This is wood she went out and grabbed off the ground. Second, the number of cows in the reference images are not random. These are not pictures from Google. These are not just random cows that she saw when she happened to be driving down the road, like anywhere. It was in her neighborhood specifically. Again, that enhances that personal connection she's trying to create in her sustained investigation of her own upbringing. And of course, the colors at the bottom are chosen by a child relative, referencing the childhood aspect of the lower area of this painting. All right, so here's an exercise. This jellyfish artwork is about pollution in the ocean. It's made of styrofoam and plastic bottles that have been cut apart, painted, and glued back together. What contribution do these materials have on the meaning of the artwork? I want you to think about that. Maybe jot it down somewhere on the side. See if you have a friend and if you jot down similar things or if you have different ideas. Knowing that this artwork is about pollution in the ocean, how could we collect these materials in a way that would enhance the meaning of the work? Again, think about the student from the last example who picked up fence pieces from her old family property. If this is about pollution in the ocean, what way could we collect bottles that would enhance the meaning of this particular artwork? Another exercise. This student work is about consumerism. Consider some things carefully. What materials do you see? What did this student use to create their artwork? And in what ways do these materials reflect their own consumerism? How does the display of this artwork, being in a box with a little plastic front, display of these dolls also reflect consumerism? And get really specific. What do you think the specific meaning of this artwork is? When you think about what this specific meaning is, again, think very much about the materials that you see, how they're being used, how they've been manipulated, and what they look like. Another exercise. Consider this artwork. The materials are clay, paint, and shards of red glass. What meaning can you take from these materials independent of the work? If you had to assign an emotional meaning to clay or paint or glass, shards of glass specifically, what sorts of meanings would you put to them? Knowing those things, what do you believe this artwork is about? What do you think its deeper meaning is? What is the theme that it's trying to project? Then tell me, how do you believe the artwork is enhanced by these materials? Is there a different material that you would have used? Is there a different way that you might have manipulated them? Would you change it in any way? Here is your task. Consider your own potential ideas for your artworks. What materials were you considering using to make your artworks? Were they the same materials you've always used? Are they very predictable materials such as canvas and paint or pencil and paper? What materials would enhance your purpose best? Is there a different material that you could draw on paint on? Is there a different material you could draw or paint with? In what methods or ways can you manipulate these materials to further your message? Especially whenever you have meanings that talk about destruction or the corruption of something, is there a way you can create an artwork and destroy it perhaps? What ways can you manipulate your materials to further your message? Remember, it is just as valid to have a video of an artwork being burned as to have an artwork itself. So consider what you're trying to say and consider what you're using and to say it and how you are trying to say it. All right. Hopefully that clears up a little bit on synthesis of materials and ideas. You are always welcome to talk to your teachers about what synthesis means for you and how you think you can best achieve it. But it is best always, always, always to be thinking about it far ahead of time. Come up with way more ideas than you think you need, because in the end, your first idea is hardly ever your best idea. It's usually the one you come up with at 2 a.m. on Tuesday night, we know. So, good luck.